Welcome to the Intuitive Therapist Podcast with Janis Cohen, therapist, clairvoyant, empath, and medium. Listen in as she takes a no-nonsense deep dive into real human struggles and how to resolve them. Janis will share channeled information from her spirit guide team, as well as the angels and archangels, to help you master your emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual destiny. And now, Janis Cohen.
Hey y'all, this is Janis Cohen, the Intuitive Therapist here on the Intuitive Therapist Podcast. It is 1:11, and interestingly enough, that is always a sign for me of a few things. One is to be very mindful of how I think, because thoughts manifest very, very quickly. And the other is to take the blessing from the universe that I've got all this support and love to back me up today and always. And I want to talk to you today about how to stay grounded and powerful when things go wrong. And I've been guided to remind you about the 111 that I just told you about, knowing that it is really a sign that the divine is speaking right now. And life throws us curveballs for a reason. That's just kind of how the world works. And we don't always know the reason right offhand, but at some point, typically later on, we see the reason for it. And hopefully, we learn from the shakeup that's been given to us. And if you're a student of astrology, then, or not, but I'm going to teach you something about astrology today. But if you are a student of astrology, then you know that when the new moon occurs, we get the chance to state our intentions for the coming month. When the full moon happens, which is before the new moon, it is an opportunity to really have the things that have been in the dark become known and in the light. And with that and that awareness and that review comes the new moon of, okay, these are my new commitments. This is what I'm going to focus on now. And we get to choose how we're going to move through life. And in my personal work on myself, one thing I know for sure is that I get to choose not only how I experience things, but also what I do with those things that I experience. We get thrown off in life because we aren't always prepared for the curveballs. We can't always be prepared for the curveballs, right? And we get thrown off because we are too tied to how things should be or need to be in order for us to feel as though we are in control. And we all know the truth about control in our lives. We have very little control, very little of it, with the exception of how we choose to think, feel, believe, take action, what we ingest, and what we expel. Perspective matters when it comes to challenges. Intention matters when it comes to hard times. And what we believe during those shake-up moments matters. What we believe about ourselves, our life, our capacity to handle change, and our ability to overcome. And it can feel next to impossible at times to remain grounded when the unexpected happens. And we can even question our ability to feel powerful when we have to pivot or do something new when we hadn't expected to have to do so. Recently, I experienced a meditation where I became a mountain. And I actually went into the core of the mountain, not through a cave, but into the inside of the mountain. And I put the mountain on me. I tried it on. And when I did, Buddha showed up. I felt an immediate sense of calm. I noticed the changing weather, the seasons that passed in front of my eyes as I was wearing the cave. And I noticed the environment around me and the changes it took on too. I noticed that in spite of all that was constantly changing around me as I became the mountain, that what felt right was to just observe and not personalize all of the external activity that was happening. And each of you, yes, we all have a mountain to climb, but we also have a mountain to become. And whether it's your business that you want to grow and scale, your health that you want to improve, your love life that you want to grow into, or your own personal and spiritual growth that you seek, all of this is not just existing on the top of your mountain, but truly inside of you. One of the most powerful ways to stay grounded and in your power is to embody the most awesome huge, and beautiful mountain that you could have ever seen or that you could picture in your mind. Try that mountain on, go into the core of it, and become it. Let it slide down your shoulders like a warm, light blanket. You are always protected inside this mountain. You personalize nothing, yet you are aware of everything. And despite what happens around you, you remain grounded in the very essence of this beautiful mountain, the one that you're wearing, the one that you are. And you feel the sense of power inside of you because you know that you can always rely on you to remain centered, calm, and observant. And one of the most amazing ways that you can move through difficult times is to remember that you get to choose how you're affected by what happens outside of you. And it's you who identify who yourself is, who you are. You get to determine how much faith you have in your ability to overcome obstacles, not the other way around. Observing rather than taking the experience literally will impact you greatly too. Imagine sitting inside the mountain, noticing everything, and having a neutral stance about it, but knowing that you will deal with whatever shows up and that you can handle anything that comes your way, because you are the mountain. We stay grounded when we're present and connected to our bodies. You are the mountain. We stay powerful when we know that we are not victims in life and that all the universe is showing us when things fall apart is where we are in and out of alignment with what we want. You are the mountain. It is evidence of what needs to be shored up, taken care of, and adjusted within us. You are the mountain. And when you see life through this context, meaning the lens through which you process life, you won't feel vulnerable and naked and without support, because you are the mountain. You get to choose over and over and over again to be the mountain, protected, guarded, centered, reliable, sturdy, indestructible. You've achieved so much at this point in your life, and there's a whole slew of evidence, if you look back on your life, of how powerful you have been through difficulty. And if you feel like you know you could do a better job, well, look at the evidence in your life and start shifting how you show up for yourself and in your relationships to every aspect of your life. We regain our personal power and groundedness when we simply look at life as feedback and remain neutral, and then we take decisive action. Hard times will always exist. Our human experience dictates that because we need to have contrast in our lives to learn and grow. And that's all hard times are, contrast. So the next time you face some difficulty and personalize the experience, on one hand, yes, that experience is for you. And on the other, it is not at you. Be the mountain. Feel the strength you have. Notice what's happening around you. Just notice. Decide the life you want. Take action to shift the tides and do what you need to do to have what you want. Any part of your life that isn't working for you externally is just showing you what you need to change. It's just evidence. Stay present. Be the mountain. Stay neutral. Be the mountain. Maintain faith in yourself and in your majesty. Be the mountain. Take actions to improve your circumstances. Be the mountain. You are well prepared to rise up and stand on the top of your mountain. You'll get there, no matter what the weather is or the conditions are outside of you. You are the mountain, and you will rise above any challenges you face. So just notice what's going on around you. Pay attention. Notice what isn't working, what's being pulled up inside of you when you encounter somebody that provokes a feeling that you don't like. Notice it, observe it, shift it, shift your relationship with it, do something differently, and then observe the results. You've got this because you are the mountain. I wish you a wonderful day, a blessed week, and as always, live intuitively.
Thanks for listening to The Intuitive Therapist. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend, and be sure to give us some stars and a favorable review at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in.